So you want to start running, or maybe you're ready to run some longer distances. There are a bunch of Couch to 5K apps in the App Store. Today we're going to look at one from Fitness22. They have a lot of different fitness apps in the App Store. They even have a 42K training program. I'm not going to go and look at that one today, but we are going to go ahead and look at their 5K one. The basic premise of the Couch to 5K or the Couch to 10K apps are you start off without any running experience, and at the end of a certain period of time, you're able to run the distance in one shot. So for 5K, they've basically broken the program down into an 8-week program. So if you started today, 8 weeks from now, you'd be able to run 5K in one shot. The training program involves 3 running days a week. And if we look at the first day's program, you can see that it's 25 minutes in total, 5 minutes warm up, 5-minute cool down, with a 15-minute run walk cycle in the middle. How does that work? Well, let's take a look. I'm going to hit the Let's Go button.
Begin with a 5-minute warm-up walk.
And it basically tells you to go ahead and get warmed up. During a warm-up, you might do some stretching exercises, things to warm up your quads, your hamstrings, your ankles, your calves, maybe even your back a little bit. You can find recommendations for warm-ups online elsewhere, but for 5 minutes, you're going to get your body ready to go for a run. Let's go ahead and skip to the next cycle.
Start running.
And so basically, it's as simple as it tells you to start running. What happens next?
Slow down and walk.
So basically, if you go back to the original plan, it's just going to tell you to run, and then walk, and then run, and then walk, so that you can complete the entire 15-minute run-walk cycle on your first outing. At the beginning, it's not that important that you run fast. You can go as slow as you need to, because over the course of 8 weeks, you're going to develop proficiency and a comfort level with the running required to get you there. This screen has a few other options. If you click the Runs button in the lower left-hand corner, it'll take you to the History window. You can also get there through the hamburger menu by clicking on History. If we go back to the Running menu, we'll also see in the bottom right-hand corner it says Inspiration. It'll give you some nice quotes with a nice setting picture. It's the kind of thing that might be a nice to have. And then in the upper right-hand corner, there's an icon. It takes you to a list of the other apps that Fitness22 lists and check marks the ones that you have on your phone. Now let's go ahead and look at the Settings menu. These are the different things that you can change about the application. You can change the coach's voice from male to female.
Start running.
Start running.
You can also turn the halfway point notification on or off. This is probably most useful if you're leaving your house and running off in one direction. When you're halfway through your running program, it's going to tell you that you're halfway done. You can turn around and go back. It makes it a little bit easier because you don't have to do a lot of planning for your runs. You just head out, and when you hit the halfway point, you go home. This is probably less important if you're doing laps around a park or a track, but it's still a really nice feature to have, especially if you do a lot of running when you're traveling or in unfamiliar locations. The last thing is there's a Motivate Me. I've turned that off because a lot of times when I'm running, if I hear a voice, I kind of assume that when I'm running, it's telling me to walk. Or if I'm walking, it's telling me to run. That can get a little bit confusing. It's probably a little bit nice at the very beginning because it tells you things like,
Great, you're doing it.
After a while, I don't find that all that necessary. And usually I'm listening to music, and music is really the only motivation I need typically during a run. The nice thing about this application is that when you're using it, if you have music running from a podcast application or Apple Music or Spotify or something like that, it'll automatically turn the volume down a little bit, tell you the instructions that you need to hear, and then restore the volume level. One of the reasons that I like the Fitness22 application so much is they've done a really good job of keeping it up to date with all the latest iOS releases. Of all the 5K apps that I had on my phone, this was one of the first ones that got updated as Apple released iOS 10. Give it a try. This is the app that I use on my phone.